All right, we live. This is Taking Thursday back. Where we take Thursday back one Thursday at a time. This is Cash at Hand with the Mix Squad. On today's show, we got the music news, we got a live quick mix, and we will do live discussions right after this.
Getting into it. Getting into it. Getting into it. We getting into it. Getting into it. I'm getting into it. We getting into it. Getting into it. Getting into it. Getting into it. I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. We getting into it. We getting into it.
I am muted and didn't know I was muted, but we back. StreamYard doing its own thing. But we're going to give y'all the news today, and I'm going to have my man, Audio Manipulator, come and discuss these topics with us as we get into it. But first things first, we got Future and Thugger. Actually, we got Future and Thugger coming up with a reunite with Money on Money, which is a part of Young Thug's comeback, right? He's coming back, making music. He has a new collab with Future. We also have Wiz and J. Cole putting together a collab called Clouds that I am definitely going to check out right after this show. And we have here at the bottom, let me take this banner off real quick so we can see. It is Kendrick. And he was in the American Music Awards. He was nominated for 10 different possible awards. He only came away with one, which is the best hip hop award. Actually want to bring on my man Slang, or Audio Manipulator as he likes to be called, to just discuss. Yeah, Slang's not here, man. To discuss that one with Kendrick. I didn't watch the awards, man, but I did see, the awards that were given and whatnot. And I see Kendrick only got one. Do you feel like he should have won like the best album? I know he was up for the best artist. What's your thoughts about that, man?
I didn't watch the awards neither, but I don't know, man. This thing is getting out of order. I don't know.
I mean, he was, you got stiff competition. You got Taylor. As you see in the photo, you got Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? We got the Queen Bee, Taylor. He was going against Billie Eilish in another category. It's just tough when you get to the best of the best. And then being a hip hop artist on top of that, it even though we love it and it's close to our chest, like it's still to the masses. It's hard. Now, he's done it before. Other rappers have done it before. It's not impossible, but it's not ideal when you're going against pop.
Make a good beef song. That's what it
Straight
is.
Up. Straight up. We also have some news that has transpired this week in the as far as this week in music history. We had on May 22nd in 2004, Usher had spotted had got to the top spot, in 2004 in this week. Also on May 23rd in this week in 2000, Eminem put out the infamous the Marshall Mathers LP, produced by Dr. Dre and Eminem. And this, like, to me, that was what put him on like a different status in my time. Cause like when I'm, 2000, about 14, that's when I really was like, oh, like who is this? On May 24th, Paul Gray, who is Slipknot's drummer, the bass player for Slipknot, he had passed away at age 38 due to an accidental overdose of morphine and fentanyl. And what overdose ain't accidental for the most part? That's usually called suicide, ain't it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't getting no purposeful overdose and not having it called suicide. I'm just saying. But Paul Gray, rest in peace as he continues. Like that was in 2011. You know what I mean? But so it's been 14 years since then. And then May 28th, we had Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline in 1969 was released, which is a timeless hit, has become many stadium anthems. You know what I mean? And then May 29th, which is today, Rolling Stone's Success in 1971. That was the number one album. They had the number one album, Sticky Fingers, and the number one single, Brown Sugar, at that year. And so that's this week in music history. But
Still an intro.
We also have more news that's current. And this is really wanted to just kind of tackle with you guys today is the different headlines that we have today. So we got Tory Lanez, and we know about the stabbing. We talked about that last week, but now we actually, if you haven't heard, now you will hear what his Santino Casio, who is the guy who stabbed him, what he had to say and why. And me and Slang, after we come back from taking a look at this, gonna discuss exactly, what we think about what dude had to say about it. Straight up. So let's take a look real quick. Oh, and shout out to All Urban Central. This is not, they didn't get the original tape of him with his jail call, but this is their channel that I'm playing it off of.
California correctional facilities have put out a public statement stating that.
My bad, I had a timestamp and then didn't keep it. So we're going to go right about here.
Attack him.
Everything led up to that day, but that day I just came out in the morning to tell him, good morning. And I told him what's up, give him a little fist bump, ask him if everything is good. We had a little situation the night before and the day before.
So what was the situation the night before and the day before?
So I heard some rumors that he was trying to put money on my head. He felt uncomfortable living next to me. Said I was a threat. So I confronted him. And then I found out the same thing. He tried to put money on my head, so he said I put money on his head. So we had a little discussion or whatever. So the next morning, that night, he said some shit. I'm kind of crazy. So the next morning, I came out, see if everything was good. Fist bump, talked to him. He said, yeah. So I was going back into my cell. And when I looked back, instead of going to cell, he was walking towards my door. He stood in front of my cell, looked at his boys, made his little smirk. And when he showed me what he had and something in his pocket, I just rushed him.
What do you have in his pocket?
I just rushed him. What he showed me looked to me like I believed it could be a weapon at the time. So I rushed him, and I just snatched him. I just took advantage of him. Weak. I just threw him all over, and I just kept slamming him and stabbing him. And
Were you trying to kill him?
No, not at all. But I felt like it was a weapon. I felt ready. And when I felt like a sting in my leg, I felt like, oh, stab me. So I moved back and I kept stabbing more. And I seen that he threw something, so I was like, oh, that. So I just kept going. After he was yelling, help, scream, please help me. I just kicked him once and I tried to protection. I said, I'm like, look at me. And then I just let him go. Like, I was saying, like, man, you're trying to.
I'm going to pause it right here real quick. We're going to come back to taking a listen to the rest of that. But audio manipulator, I mean, let's first get this history of Santino, right? We talking about a guy who was in prison for having an underage girlfriend that he murdered. So, like, your word, bro. Number one, I don't know, man. I just can't rock with you. And then, like, there has been the tape that got released of the actual stabbing that occurred, and him talking about, oh, I felt the stab and he stabbed me. Like, none of that. It's just, come on, bro. What you think, bro?
Man, sound like he telling a whole bunch of bull, trying to cover his ass. But man, like you said, man, he did some terrible things. So sheesh, I think it was the other way around, man. Nobody was in prison.
I think he was clout chasing in prison, bro.
Trying to get his name so called clear, even though his name ain't gonna clear up in prison just because he did that.
Nah, it ain't gonna clear. It's gonna make it way, way, way worse, especially how segregated prison be between race and all of that. But just I say clout chasing because he know he was going. Ain't nobody was about to call him to get no interview and be all over the internet and be talked about like you in there and ain't nobody know, nobody give a damn. So that to me is clout chasing in prison. Like you don't really have any other reason to probably stab him because if further on, and we won't go like we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic because really he ain't really talking about nothing, bro. And further on in the conversation, he furthermore talks about how they was cool, how they was tight prior to this. He didn't even really like he had heard through the grapevine that Tory was about to stab him, and so he did it first. And so it's a lot going on with him. It's just I feel like it's a situation in which you're really just trying to get some attention because ain't nobody gonna give you none because don't nobody know that you up in there. Don't nobody care about you. You probably ain't even getting a visit from your mama.
And then when you get attention, now you got people looking at what the hell you did. You should have just set your ass back and left shit alone.
Yeah.
Like, man,
no, I'm pretty sure his people know what he did. And I'm pretty sure his people gonna not protect him, but they gonna stick up. They gonna make because that's just what happened, man. Unfortunately, I have done a little bit of time, not in prison, but I have done some time, and it is extremely clicked up. And if you not, it's a detriment. Like me, it was a detriment for me because I'm not affiliated with anything, and that's worse. You know what I'm saying? In jail, that's worse. Not to have any type of protection or anybody looking out for you or anybody, being when fights break out, like they would tell you, neutron, you were neutron, you basically accounted as the enemy because we don't know what you about to do. We don't know whose side you on. So you getting it first. We knocking you out the way first. So he, I'm sure he gonna get some level of protection to continue to, operate how he do. But somebody I'm sure gonna catch him up for the fact that what he did, somebody up in there rock with Tory. And if not, then that's just shame on Tory for being up in there. Like you can't be you can't be in prison at 5'5", 5'6" and not make no friends, stupid. I'm just saying. Like I ain't that big, you know what I'm saying? I'm about 5'7", 5'8", but I'm just saying, like I'm gonna make me a few giant friends. I'm gonna be a workout partner or a spotter for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like you need a workout buddy to them, get some push-ups in with you, big dog. Play some chess with you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? I gotta move for checkmate, not today. Tip my king over. You won, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I need a friend. I need a friend, bro. So we'll see how that transpires. Now that his name is out there, I'm pretty sure if something happens to him, we will know just because of what he did. So, man,
sometimes people do mean shit, deserve what they deserve. Like, whoa. You on mute, brother.
No, I wasn't on mute. They muted me. You know what I'm saying? I think StreamYard is
StreamYard, can you stop muting this man, please?
Somebody tapping into the feed, man. We only got, you know what I'm saying? There's so many people watching, but apparently what we talking about is just so beyond what millions of people talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Diddy and stuff start muting on, I ain't touching nothing. It just muted. So I need to move on to the next topic before everything crashed. So in the next topic, did you know Beastie Boys was suing Chili's for the uses of their song "Sabotage" in their ads? So they going through a case right now for undisclosed amount of money for against Chili.
Give them their money.
The restaurant. Yeah, I got to find the ad and stuff like that. It's just interesting, like how these things transpire. You would think being the businesses that are like Chili's, right? That would have systems in place and people that they hire to be sure that they don't find themselves in lawsuits like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, if you want to be on NBA 2K, right? In order to be on 2K, you got to be signed with Sony. Why? Because it's just the pool that they have accessible for them. They ain't got to go get these individual licenses from individual artists and all of that. They just pull from their licenses with Sony that they already got locked in. So if you own Sony's label, then you got a good chance of being on 2K. If you're not, then you're not going to get on 2K simply just because of the convenience that it has for Sony or for Take Two Interactive. That's who makes 2K. It's convenient for them to go from this group of people that they already got licenses for because they're already in the network with Sony. So bigger companies like this, when it comes to their ads and when it comes down to music, generally they kind of are in business with a group that has a group of licenses already ready for them. So to me, if there is money to be given to Chili's, they dropped the ball somewhere in that department. And they need to figure out, like, you know, like these things don't happen all the time, but like when they do, it shows the incompetence somewhere, because something as small as an ad that, you know what I'm saying, that you really somewhat paying the artist, not just to use, but you're also like paying them through advertisement, like through having that song be constantly heard. You're elevating them in so many ways, especially being a Chili's. It's just ironic that through the fact that I actually am promoting you and putting you in the memories and thoughts back into people's minds, because I'm using your vintage songs and your songs back from early 2000s or, you know, late 90s, that I'm getting sued because they don't want to think about the Beastie Boys. What do I think about them niggas? Like, so you over here getting, you know what I'm saying? You get, just imagine you're the CEO of Chili's, and it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm helping y'all be relevant again.
Gotta relight your flame, brother.
And I'm now getting sued for top dollar. Who knows what they getting sued for? But usually when you hear about a lawsuit like this, it ain't for a couple grand. If it hit the news, usually if it was like lightweight, it'd get settled, you know what I'm saying, out of court. And we didn't even know the undisclosed amount. But that's that. When it comes down to the Diddler, I'm just kind of, you know, at this point, I am kind of tired of, I'm getting a little fatigued of the same things. I know they got to go through the process and get people's testimonies, but so far, all we have consistently confirmed is that Diddy was a jerk and that he was a woman beater, and like he consistently beat her.
All right.
I'm hoping moving forward we can move on, because I just really don't want the jury to get fatigued and desensitized and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on what's going on with the Diddler, bro?
Just like you said, let's get to the real. Let's get to it. You know, y'all fatiguing me too. Like, man, I keep hearing about this. Just like his assistant Mia was talking about how they went to a Prince party, and she snuck out from Diddy, and then Diddy found out, went to Prince's house and chased her down, tackled her. Prince security had to break it up. Like, come on, man. Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a, you know, I mean, it's a lot that we've already been constantly hearing. But shout out to Melanie King, who herself has been reporting her last videos that she's been having trouble uploading her videos and stuff like that because of the topics that she's talking about regarding Diddy and sharing light on things outside of the trial that may be coming up, and other people that are not being brought up right now. So she's getting under some scrutiny with that. But I have a clip from her that's going to give a different perspective of what was going on. And I believe, I don't remember who was testifying. It was the stylist that was testifying in regards to this video that we're going to see from Melanie. But I want to take a watch of this, and then we're going to discuss exactly what she was kind of bringing up in this video once it concludes. Let's take a listen.
Just not making any sense. Digging in further, the fingerprint destruction is straight out of a crime thriller. Jimenez was clear. Evidence cards don't just vanish, especially not in active cases. His testimony aligned with Little Rod's claim about a fixer, and the bad boy Escalade, spotted by Ignacio, seals the deal. Diddy's crew was at Cuddy's house. Clark's story from yesterday about Diddy threatening to kill all you mother effers during the break-in matches the timeline. She said Diddy grabbed her at 5:30 a.m. with a pow pow in hand, basically kidnapping her. They hit Cuddy's place, and that she and Cassie spent 2 hours convincing Cuddy not to snitch. Ignacio's 8:20 a.m. arrival fits like a puzzle piece. The defense's dead end street argument fell flat as people familiar with the area stated that Cuddy's neighborhood has multiple exits. But the defense has a point. No gun was reported, no chase confirmed, and the trespass, well, it seemed minor, except for the dog that was abused and traumatized during that. If you guys don't know that story, Kid Cudi's 2-year-old French bulldog was locked in the bathroom. He's never been locked away. And when he got in there, the dog was really traumatized. He took him to the vet, and the dog had lost a significant amount of weight, was really anxious, had to be medicated, and never reacted to strangers again in a positive manner, was always very afraid of anyone coming around him who he did not know. So to me, something happened to this dog during that break-in. But of course, who cares about a dog during this type of thing? I mean, I do, I think you do, but in a case like this, they're not going to really go after it. Steele's cross-examination made Ignacio admit he didn't pursue the Escalade, and Jimenez conceded the glove wasn't tested. If they can convince the jury that LAPD botched the job, it weakens the prosecution's narrative. The mistrial motion, though denied, shows their panic. A May 28th report noted that Agnifilo has deep frustration, quoting him as saying the prosecution's conspiracy talk risks tainting the jury. Yet, prosecutors are rolling on. They've got Clark, Cuddy, and now physical evidence like the Molotov bottle. Nash's upcoming testimony, well, testifying some more, could really add a lot to this case, especially if he saw Diddy's alleged abuse firsthand. Now, the mole angle is very juicy, but tricky. Little Rod's lawsuit names a security head with LAPD ties, and the NYPD claims echo this. A 2023 Billboard article on Rod's suit mentioned Diddy's team allegedly silencing a studio shooting with no LAPD follow-up. If true, it suggests a pattern. But the judge's ruling to disregard the fingerprint testimony limits how far the prosecutors can push this without any new evidence coming forth. But social media is going wild again, okay? Really wild with speculation. Asking things like, Diddy's fixer in LAPD? No.
All right. So basically the what was being discussed there was a mole within the LAPD and an NYPD, and just kind of your thoughts on, like, obviously we know that there's a possibility, but just what's going on in that case that you think the prosecution is going to try to push to, like, reveal that, or they just gonna leave that alone?
They need to reveal it, but damn, Diddy taking dogs' innocence too? God, Lord. Damn, man.
He had to show the dog what was up.
Dog is not the same.
Not the same anymore.
Damn.
The dog is not the same no more. Yeah, Kid Cudi dog was in the bathroom shaking and messed up, bro.
Dog abuser, woman
but yeah,
abuser.
having a mole within, obviously there's ties. Diddy it's been thrown out there that he's connected with some type of, he's an informant or he's a federal agent, and even the freak offs themselves are a form that the government uses to get, dirt on people, to have them be able to testify, have them do what they, they're bidding, whatever they need them to do, kind of get high-ranking people in compromised positions, and now we have something over them. How do you feel about that, man? You feel like that's something that, like, do you feel like Diddy was on that, or you just feel like it's just, a bunch of coincidence that evidence is just randomly coming up missing.
It's not a coincidence. He got his hands on something, brother. He definitely. You can't go this long without no power like that. You know, you got to have some type of police on your team. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. So
it'll reveal itself.
It definitely will. I'm waiting for it to get to a point where we can get a little bit more interesting news. It is at a standstill to, you know, in regards to new information, right? Most of the stuff right now is just kind of just regurgitated different vantage points of the same incidents. And it doesn't help that you got to read transcripts. And then when you read transcripts, it's all pretty much the same things that we've been reading. So, you know, maybe if this was something we could visually see in court, it would be a lot more like interesting and appealing. And there's moments where I'm sure people are being sarcastic or have attitudes on the stand that we really can't get out of reading it.
Face expressions and shit like that.
Right. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's federal court. That's what federal court do, man. Federal court is just not going to give you that access. But that's pretty much the news for today. And so we're going to, after the break here, we're going to take a quick break and give some time for our sponsor.
Before we leave Diddy, I got one more thing. How do you feel about them paying people $20 an hour to wear a free Diddy shirt?
Who getting paid $20 an hour to wear a free Diddy shirt?
Whoever comes to the courthouse and they show up, they acting, hey, you want to wear a free Diddy shirt? You get $20
like
an hour.
His team.
I guess so.
Like who's funding that? You know what I'm saying? That gotta be his team. Like that gotta be his lawyers and stuff. And I'm trying to figure out what does that matter.
That ain't gonna help.
Them 12, like I'm saying, them ain't the 12 that's making the decision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to think, who cares?
That shit crazy.
Who cares? You out here talking about some free Diddy. So yeah, who cares, man? Like who cares?
Right,
they're not the decision makers. But no, there's been plenty that we didn't get the chance to cover because it's just a lot that's still going on. We didn't cover the Rod Wave situation. I haven't got an update on that, but we didn't cover that today. We will make sure we touch base on that next week. We should be having a guest come on and just have a conversation with us about the things that's going on in the music world and all the news and things that we're talking about today, whether it's Tory, whether it's Diddy, whether, it's whoever else is in the news by next week that done got unalived, unfortunately, so stay tuned for that. We got a special guest, Break It Down Inside, will be on here with us next week. In the meantime, in between time, we're going to get a word from our sponsor, which is us, the Mix Squad. And after that, we will do a live mix. So stay tuned for after we come back, we will get the live mix going.
Hey, what's up? I'm Q the Music from the Mix Squad, and I'm calling out all artists, producers, engineers, and music professionals. Do you want to showcase your music, tell your story, and connect with a growing community of creatives? Then come join us on Sunday Spotlight, our exclusive interview series on Mixsquadtv. If you're ready for your spotlight, hit us up on IG at Mixsquadtv, and let's make something happen.
So go ahead and join the squad where you will get in-depth coverage of all of what we do. This is an example of a STEM mix, and the example was simply to try to just create because this song was already released, and so as I listened to it, I just wanted to create something that sounded just like it, and then from there do some small tweaks. So everything you see here with the hook lead is already been processed to sound very similar to the song that's released. And real quick, as we continue this video for this quick mix, this is shout out to Grand Gullah. That far, this is a mix he gave us. It has already been released, but he gave us a mix to do a mix for the live mix for Thursday. And let's continue. And then from here, we're just gonna be able to do any small tweaks that we feel like we need to do to it. In this case, I don't have any EQs or anything on this track. I'm just sending it to my sends. And this is just an example, and why we're doing this is because there are times in which you really just need to enhance what was already created. And if you have an example of what was already created, then you can, flip back and forth between them, get into, taking a listen to what was already done, and then try to imitate that. And once you imitate that, then you can try to put your own little sauce on it, make it, whether it's a clarity issue or you just want to add some more interesting effects or something just makes the song unique and have a signature, a sonic signature that is your own. That is what I would advise. Having a song that is already out and that's already being listened to and making it so separate from what was already mixed is, you're probably going to get a negative feedback from the artists and listeners because they've already been listening to this a certain kind of way. And so you don't want to do too much different, which is why I started with what we're seeing now is me already getting it to a point where it sounds very similar to what has been released. Cool. So let's get into it. Let's take a listen to where we're at now, and then we'll start activating these plugins and seeing what we actually were trying to do. And if you already know from me, everything that we're going to do will be a subtle difference. And then in the end, it will all be kind of put together. All right, let's take a listen. We're going to take a listen to maybe the hook and then a portion of the verse so we can keep it moving.
If you're wondering how you got that far, it went that hard. We ain't never fraud, always going hard. Yes, we've been on star in a foreign car with a foreign bar. You already know what's up. If you're wondering how you got that far, it went that hard. We ain't never fraud, always going hard. Yes, we've been on star in a foreign car with a foreign bar. You already know what's up.
Hit the gas cause the shoe fits. I'm a product of the movement from the dub. We never lose and reached my goals and started cruising. Phone ring, congratulations, but I'm on some new shit. Time wasted lane, could be time that you proved it. Eyes low, dust rose, zoned out in a maze. All these stars and the lights shining bright with a maze. Pull the guidance out my story, had to turn the page, and we steady turning up.
All right, cool. So you see certain levels are low, certain things are not as balanced, obviously, because I have some processing that I still need to show you guys. So now you kind of get an idea what the song sounds like, and let's go into enhancing it, right? And so we're going to start with the beat because it'd be good to just get this beat exactly where it needs to be first. And so let's start with all of what went into this beat, right? And so you got the center, which we had mentioned before, that just got a little EQ on it. And we're going to play this. We're going to just solo out the beat so we can hear this. So we're just right now hearing just what was sent to me. This is, it's touched because it does have some trimming that had took place about almost 8 dBs lower than what it was. So we take this away. Nothing really wrong. It's just that it's just straight down the middle, and it lacks width, presence, as far as just being to the sides and just full, right? So I'm gonna add this, then we're gonna bring in left and right. Probably bring them down a couple dB. Bring in the sides. I'm actually let y'all hear the sides by itself. So first, to go back to left and right, all we did was do a little EQ. As you see it down here, you can kind of see the curve. I don't have to go into it. And then some compression where it just really squashes it a little bit. It's not even touching it on this one. There we go. The sub, another EQ, and then Pro Sub comes with Pro Tools, and it's a good sub harmonic plugin. And so this is what we're sounding like now. All right, this is what we were sounding like. And here we are. Now these are some delays from that beginning, which you say, baby, baby. So let's take a listen to when they're on now. Cool. And so here I just added a little bit more punch. This plugin is not wanting to show its face, which is fine. It's just a knock plugin. This track spacer actually is in place to allow the vocals to cut through a little bit where it's conflicting. So it's side chain to actually respond to the vocal, which is coming out of bus 2 here. So we'll be able to hear that once the vocals come. And let's just take a look at what the Oxford Inflator and the standard clip are doing as well. Clip is just clipping the very, very tips, which is gonna let me get a little bit more out of this at the end. Just barely clipping it. Cool, so that's the beat. So let's open up these vocals, see what we're looking at. I'm gonna just start peeling layers. Let's get to the hook.
They still wondering how you got that far. It went that hard. We ain't never always going hard. Yes, we've been on star in a foreign car. In a foreign car.
So you all hear all the different elements that's going on in the hook.
It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going hard. Yes, we've been on star in a
Adding the effects, the dub, the verb, the plate in the room. All right, cool. So now we go to the verse and do the same thing.
In a foreign car with a foreign bar. You already know what's up. In the gas, cause the shoe fits. I'm a product of the movement from the dub. We never losing. reached my goals and started cruising. Phone ring, congratulations, but I'm on some new shit. Time wasted lane, could be time that you proved it. Eyes low, dust rose, zoned out in a maze. All these stars and the lights shining bright with a maze. Pulled the guidance out my story, had to turn the page, and we steady turning up in several different ways.
Cool. And so now the processing had a little bit of two-way action. The effects has some saturation going on it that we're gonna open up, and then here in the vocals we're gonna look at next. Get more everything here. On the all vocals, or not really all vocals, but all the vocals without the effects is really what this is. What this is has a few more frequencies that we just needed to remove. Subtle changes. Multi-band compressor to just really shape the tone of how I wanted it to sound.
I'm a product of the movement from the dub. We never lose and reached my goals and started cruising. Phone ring, congratulations, but I'm on some new shit. Time wasted lane, could be time that you proved it. Eyes low, dust rose, zoned out in a maze. All these stars and the lights shining bright with a
Cool. All of the things that's being added from all of the effects and processing is sounding good. It's just not sounding like the vocals is really where they need to be. And so this is where I took the limiter and decided to use that here. Now, I could have done this in several different ways. We could have added, more volume throughout here. I got stuff turned down, stuff turned up. I could have used faders here. I decided I kind of liked the balance that everything was already sitting in, and I really didn't want to necessarily just turn it up. And so using a limiter allows you to just kind of pull it to its threshold and just kind of pull it up from there. So I chose to do that. Let's take a listen to what this limiter was doing.
I'm a product of the movement from the dub. We never lose and reached my goals and started cruising. Phone ring.
And the stabilizer is just something that I use here. This is just really trimming some of the frequencies in which could be considered some resonant frequencies that I build up that gets tamed. And so that's all this is doing. Let's take a listen, and then when I hit this delta button, you can hear literally what's getting pulled out.
It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Always going home. Yes, we've been on stars in a foreign car with a foreign bra. You already know what's up.
Hit the gas 'cause the shoe fits. I'm a product.
All right, so from here we really have kind of covered the mix in itself, but I still have let me cut it off. I still have the, it's all kind of getting into this mix here on mix levels. It looked like it was hitting at around -3 on the whole mix. So that's what I had to work with in regards to just kind of getting it to its loudness. And then from here, I just added my last little EQ. Again, generally speaking, I do my masterings in a different session, but for the sake of just getting it to the loudness, this is just what I do generally, just to get it to a loudness level. And I found some areas that I felt like dipping here. Oftentimes you just got to scan and really get to it. Some of these are pretty consistent, like the one here between like 680 and 750 is generally one, like a ringing sound that I pull out. In the 300s, I'd be careful. I made it narrow because a lot of the body of the song is there, and so I'm just very careful with that. That's why it's a narrow Q. And all of these are relatively narrow. I'm just getting some things that may have just kind of sounded slightly annoying to me, just to smoothen the sound out. And then our bass is giving a little bit more rumble. So let's take a listen.
It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up. When did I get that far? It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car.
And even here, I can turn the vocals slightly up. See if I like it that way.
It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up. When did I get that far? It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign.
Let's take a look at what I did on the. Let's take a look at what I did on the mix bus. There's another There's another EQ here. Let's take a look at what it is doing.
If the one didn't get that far, it went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up. When did I get that far? It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up.
Hit the gas cause the shoe fits. I'm a product of the movement from the dub. We never lose and reached my goals and started cruising. Phone ring, congratulations, but I'm on some new shit. Time wasted delaying could be time that.
So the God particle over here, it's only getting about a dB of limiting. It's actually coming in a -1 dB to where it was coming. The input is -1 dB. The limiter is at 1 dB. The output's at 0. And then my final limiter here with the true peak on from Pro L2. Probably throw some oversampling on it. And let's see what our LUFS is. I generally like to just be 10 and under. So let's see. I have no idea where this is at.
If the one didn't get that far, it went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up. When did I get that far? It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up.
Hit the gas cause the shoe fits. I'm a product of the movement from the dub. We never lose and reached my goals and started cruising. Phone ring, congratulations, but I'm on some new shit. Time wasted delaying could be time that you proved it. Eyes low, dust rose, don't doubt in the maze. All these stars and the lights shining bright with a maze. Pulled the guidance out my story, had to turn the page. And we steady turning up in several different ways.
Cool. Only thing that I hear personally that I'd probably adjust on this right now is in my processing. Take this static down just a little. Hearing a little bit of phase situation. But other than that, I'm going to run this back one more time, y'all.
If the one didn't get that far, it went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up. When did I get that far? It went that hard. We ain't never from. Always going home. Yes, we've been on star. In a foreign car. With a foreign bar. You already know what's up.
Hit the gas cause the shoe fits. I'm a product of the movement from the dub. We never lose and reached my goals and started cruising. Phone
last thing I'd say that I definitely did was just freak the beat in certain areas that I felt fit to just add a little bit of extra excitement to this track right here. We have a moment of lo-fi coming up in this area.
My story had to turn that page, and we steady turning up in several different ways.
And then obviously it drops out after the lo-fi. So here it just kind of builds up. We're going to take a listen to what it's doing.
With a form, bro. You already know what's up. Blessing, highly favored, dunk on and blocking haters. Always knew I had a gift, I just gotta get it later. Relationships didn't determine off of paper, cause we knew we would get it greater. Ain't living life stressing, taking everything as a life lesson. Steady grinding with my mind invested, hard times is tested. Elevated, standing tall, restless. Keep marking shit off my checklist. It's the one that I got that phone.
And that was pretty much it on the beat, freaks. It was just that beat drop, the lo-fi to the beat drop, then the kind of the build up of that piano to the beat drop, and then the beginning vocal effects. So those are what things I did to just try to make it the song just even more interesting. So if you are out there and you're looking for a community where you could build with fellow music enthusiasts, whether you're an artist, engineer, a label exec, whatever you may be within music, and you just want to get to know like-minded individuals or just have people on speed dial that do different things within music, which is the beauty of having that community, then go to the Mixsquad.com. Again, the Mixsquad.com/join the squad. This has been another quick mix. I'm Cash Hand, and I'm out. All right. That was our quick mix for the day. I'm actually frustrated a little bit because there was more to that at the beginning that y'all didn't hear. Nothing that I was saying about why y'all didn't see no compression and none of that on there, because it was a whole little, I would say 10 minutes of the video that I obviously didn't bounce out at the beginning, because I had explained, just to give an explanation, that I had already did some processing, that it was already baked in, but I wasn't showing that because they need to join the squad to get the nuggets. That was a stem mix, which that's where the video started, showing a definition of what a stem mix is, where you actually take a group of instruments, vocals, the beat, the instrument, the bass, whatever you take individually, and you mix it to be the whole mix. And I was just kind of mentioning what we caught at the beginning, where I started the video, speaking about, when a song is already out, when it's, it's technically out on Spotify, he's been listening to it, his fan base has been listening to it. If you get material like that to remix, the best thing to do is to try to recreate what was already created and then work from there as far as being able to pull stuff out, put stuff in. But you want to get the same overall vibe, the same overall texture, the same overall feel, and then trying to enhance it from there. But that little bit was probably cut out, but it's okay. We getting better every day. Mistakes happen. Yeah, it won't happen again, because I had put a lot of work into what y'all didn't see, and so
you wouldn't said that y'all never knew.
No, I'm yes, but I want them to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to know exactly what they just witnessed, because if you look at that session, it was barely any plugins on the vocals. It was just like, man, put some stems on there, and that was it. You ain't EQ, you ain't compressed, you ain't saturized, you ain't did nothing but take the vocal stems and put some sends on it. Like, bro, what kind of mixing is that? No, there had already been processing done, and though we will share some of what we do on live with you, I decided to reserve that for those who decide to come into the fold with us, with the members of the squad, because that's who really deserve to get the sauce, not just necessarily those of you out there who are just taking a look at us for free. You get some of the information, like, right, we don't want to just be stingy with it, but we can't give you the whole sauce. You know what I'm saying? You like a dry pizza. You know what I'm saying? We can't give you the whole sauce. So that was the quick mix for today. That's actually pretty much our show for today for taking Thursday back. Before we get out of here, we do have just some announcements to make for this upcoming Sunday. The artist that you just heard that mix from will be taken on the stage in his spotlight. Grand Gala will be on this Sunday, June the 1st. Come check out that interview. That's going to be dope. As always, we will be back next Thursday where we will be tapping into the news. We will be tapping into potentially a quick mix. We will have a special guest to kind of discourse with us things that's happening in the world of music, in the news. And, you know, never know what else is in the rundown for Thursday. You just have to come and check out what we do next week. Audio Manipulator, what you got for the people before we get out of here, brother?
Join the squad.
Yeah, says it all. That says it all. For everybody out there, man, again, like he said, join the squad, but also just go to the Mixsquad.com and just take a look around. We will try to keep our videos up to date on the site, but you can also just go to the Mixsquadtv on YouTube to check out our library of videos that we have on YouTube. We will start having some tutorials for you as well for those who are trying to learn on a basic level of engineering to put on the site. But aside from that, you can rewatch all of our spotlights. You can watch all of our Taking Thursday Back episodes. And in addition to that, if you reach out to us on the Mixsquad.com under Sunday Spotlight, then you can put in your request to get your spotlight. As Audio Manipulator said, I got three words for you.
Nah, join the squad.
You was a little early. You're just a little early. We gonna get it together.
Nah, I'm about to say something else.
I'm gonna have to ask you offline what you was going to say. You gotta get up out of here. You're gonna end the stream. Peace.
Did it again, Alex. Give me more. Okay, cash at hand. That's the motto, that's the plan. Got a whole lot of loot. Check my status, that's the brand. Boy, stop playing. Money so long, broke them rubber bands in the jam. I'll be damned if I fuck with Uncle Sam. I'll be spazzing on the beat. I go thermal on them niggas. I'm absorbing all the heat. Oh, salty ass niggas be thinking that it's sweet. Oh, dusty ass niggas in the presence of the lead. Salute. Yeah, we looking for recruits. Join the squad, get you open corner 3, 2, 1, shoot. Don't be scared, come prepared, and we keep you in the loop. Get you squared and straight